I'm still alive. And I still own a Mini. Unlike Alex Hart. So yeah, that's it. I am back. Apologies for the long wait between videos and stuff like that. Everyone knows how it is, family life and mental health, all that kind of malarkey. And just not having the time. So, unlike other people's projects and stuff like that, I've seen so many progress reports of other people and I'm like, I should be at that stage as well, but I can't. So there's been a few times where it wasn't going to be this long. I've come out here, gone to start Paul's truck, hasn't started, so that's it. Keys have been thrown out, walked indoors. And then other times I've come out here and emergencies and yeah, anyway. But I have been doing a few little bits. So I will show you what I've been up to in the odd little evenings. But hopefully I've got 3 full days on the Mini of 12-hour days. Today, Thursday and Friday with a half day Wednesday. So I should, fingers crossed, be able to get a load done. Right, stop chipper-chappering and what I've kind of managed to do in the evenings, I've had like the odd 2-3 hours every other Thursday night to hopefully try and get a little bit closer. Yeah, I was meant to film them, but phone battery a whole day, and then I get home, go film, boop, dead. But this is what I've done. So I've made 2 little plates like that, which are welded in, and made it so we've got that. So I've sunk the rails of the seat further down to bring the back end as close to the floor as possible to try and give it that, well, nicer feel in the driver's seat. So I've done that. Both of those will cut out both sides. I still need to put those on the other side and make the brackets for the rear. So that will be possibly maybe Wednesdays, and see the aftermath of the seats finally being bolted in. But I'm not going to go on to that today. Just wanted to show you what I've been up to. I've also welded in the bracket for the ignition control module, which is up there. I'll show you that later on, or possibly well, ooh, when am I going to show you that? I reckon I'll show you it once I get the inside all prepped and ready. Right, so if I'm not going to be messing around in here, then where else could I be messing around in? I think now it's time to remove the accessories, which we've kind of bolted on in place now, and yeah, start looking at getting the engine and subframe out. Must not forget to disconnect the wiring loom. I feel like I'm going to do this in the future. Anyway, luckily, I haven't welded in the front panel yet, so I won't see how much of a pain it could be when it's all sitting in there nicely. Shouldn't be. Anyway, it's time to strip and drop. And cough. No. So, now we've got the old NA out, I think it's time to dig out the official Glanza engine and gearbox. It's quite scary, to be fair, not gonna lie. But yeah, I'm going to dig that out. I'm going to put the standard Glanza clutch and flywheel back in for now. Used a pitchfork out of the NA box because that didn't come. Hopefully it is the same. But yeah, let's get the other one out, slap together, and hopefully back in the subframe. Let's do this. What? Now, of course, can't colour that a nice cup of tea. So I thought I'd give you a quick walk around what's going on. Dug the engine and gearbox out. Now, of course, this isn't finished. Started painting it the other day. It's kind of looking all right. A few differences straight away, which you probably know from NA to the Glanza. But we've got our waste oil pipe for the turbo. And on the NA, of course, we don't have any of that. Also, which you can't see, the NA doesn't have this configuration of a oil filter housing. That is literally just a screw-on type. So you will not find the 3 bolt holes in a NA block. Moving on to the gearboxes. A big telltale sign, the steel end caps. Again, NA. With the Glanza type ones, you'll always find they are an alley casing. So something to look out for as well, which is quite rare to find. One with a built-in spacer or half shafts to try and reduce as much torque steer and run equal drive shafts. I'm also aware that this is a factory fitted LSD as well, so which even better, try and reduce as much as that torque steer as possible, so I don't have to look like Popeye trying to keep this thing in a straight line. But yeah, ignore the paint job. We're just kind of testing out a few paints to see what colour or what kind of shade of silver to do it. But yeah, that's all got to be taken back off again and done properly. And same with the engine. That's kind of just a bit of a rough coat at the moment. Still need to take the sump off, clean all that up, check my main bearings, and before it has a year of abuse, should I say? Nah, not abuse. A year of gentle pulls, I'm going to say. I want to make sure the bottom end is okay and lasts, because they are prone for bottom end failure. Apart from that, I'm going to finish off my cup of tea. Oh, in one of the best mugs ever. And hopefully get those two married up together. Right, let's crack on. So, here's something to point out. I've got both gearboxes side by sides. NA one that side, Glanza LSD one that side. Yeah, there's a few little changes. I.e. on the back, where that homemade bracket which we made, that's all we're going to have to be remade now, because if you look at that side, it's already got the built-in kind of spacer there, which is what our bracket made, should we say. But yeah, it still looks like it should fit. Bearing in mind, might have to slightly modify that, but who knows. Gonna swap a few bits over from left to right. And yeah, oh yeah, that's something else which is different. The brackets from that one to that one, you see how close they are together. And if you look at that one, it's more spread out. So I think the first initial one will actually line up, but I'll probably have to re-drill those holes and maybe even modify that bracket. Oh, that's a bit interesting. I mean, from on top was, I look pretty much the same, just with a few extra kind of dowel or now, just a few extra bolt holes. But yeah, apart from that, I think all of that lines up. Looking at the moulding between there and there, they should be all right. Well, I'm going to cross that bridge in a minute. Another good thing, the clutch off of the standard Glanza, it's got the same spline as NA1. So anyone who needs to know that, that's that. Right, let's swap some bits over. So a few more little differences. That is the NA1 to the actual Glanza one. So I probably modified that just by cutting a little bit more out of there. But rather than that, all of the bolt holes line up. So it was all going well. And then I started fitting bits onto the new engine. Yeah, I didn't realise the block's broken. Who would have known, eh? So what I've had to do is build all this area up with weld. Oh, and come around the other side. So that actually bolts through. I mean, yes, I know there's holes there and around there. Oh, I don't know. I don't know if I feel them. Let's move it off. You can't exactly see it. But then I had to drill and tap those two bottom holes. Well, we'll see how well it lasts. I mean, the idea, there will be another engine at some point, because I do want to kind of forge it and go the full 9 yards with her. But yeah, we'll see how she lasts. Anyway, on update, gearboxes, all of the bits are stripped down. There we go. I've got an extra helper now, Mr. Connor.
Yo.
Who's what are we doing, Connor?
I am degreasing the oil filter housing.
Oh,
It's fucking filthy.
that's what he's doing. That's what he's doing. Alright, so there she is. She is back together. Bracket, still got to do some modification, because if you look in there, just a slight bit cut out, no drama. The other thing is that bracket on there. I'm going to modify that next. Well, actually, probably not. I'm going to get that back in this subframe and then have a quick look at this rear mount and see how far out we are with that. Because as you can see, from that to that, we've got a big bit missing. Right, another time lapse. So, she's in there. Coming into a few issues. The gear linkage, which we made up, that bracket which we adjusted ages ago. Yeah, we've now got to redo that. A lot of stuff's looking pretty good so far. The rear mount, I've had to cut that off. Oh, yeah, focus a second. And redesign that. So that's what I'm currently doing now. Just need to hack a little bit more of this off. And yeah, fingers crossed, should fit in a lot better. So that looks like another day on the Mini. Yeah, had to redo quite a few bits, but I think I'm going to finish off that mount there probably tomorrow, because I've only got half a day tomorrow on this, so I'll probably focus on getting that bit sorted. And yeah, I don't know yet, I'll just have to see how it goes. But the first initial engine and gearbox is in, the official one. It must be longer, because nothing's lining up. So when I say nothing lining up, like all of the gear brackets and yeah, it's just madness. Right, anyway, stop me waffling on. Yeah, I'm gonna go in, pack up. Got them a mini meeting tonight, mini freaks. So see how that goes, and I will see you tomorrow. Also, if you're new to this, subscribe, like, all that malarkey. Don't have to. Just do it, basically. Bye.